Good evening, and welcome to the Variable Y Minute. I'm your host, the Variable Y. And tonight we are going to recap not everything, but most of the things that happened on this very busy, actually very exciting football weekend. I think this was probably the best weekend we've had of football this entire season. I don't think I'm alone in saying that the college football season has been pretty lackluster. Most games have been boring. Let's just be honest. Most games have been boring. Most of the top teams have been blowing all these other teams out, and some of these teams that we thought were good, or let me take that back. Some of the teams that you all thought were good, like Auburn and Texas A&M or Ole Miss, whatever. All these teams are just trash, and they're not really worth us watching. So this college football season has just been absolutely horrible. And the pro season hasn't gone really, really well. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm from Atlanta. So the home team has not been good. So that has taken away a lot of the luster from the professional season for me. But after a weekend like this has just been a great weekend for football. You had the early game, the Penn State Minnesota game that was a lot better than I would have thought. I thought that Penn State would have gone in there and blown Minnesota out, but Minnesota actually had them on the ropes early, and they were able to hold on to a lead and win the game. So that was impressive. I didn't see that coming. Then you had the Alabama LSU game, which was every bit as good as any of us could have imagined. The absolute antithesis of the 9-6 game that pretty much bored everybody to tears 8 years ago. So that was amazing. And now you have and then on Sunday you had a bunch of the pro games that were very compelling. You had the Chiefs losing to Tennessee. That was interesting because that brought their loss total up to 4 losses. So they're tied in the loss column with the Raiders. Who knew that would happen? You had the Saints. Excuse me. Oh, man. That tickled me. You had the Saints losing. Wait, my bad. Okay. You had the Saints losing at home to the 1-7 Atlanta Falcons. Yes, you heard me. The Saints lost at home to the 1-7 Atlanta Falcons. Damn. I did not see that coming at all. I barely watched the first half because I just knew we would get blown out. So to see them come back and to see them actually come out and play like they have a pulse and like they have some heart was very good to see. Not just that, to see them go into New Orleans, heated rival, big time rival, and to shut them out from scoring any touchdowns, and for the defense to actually look great. That's very encouraging to see from the team. And then you had the nightcap is the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings, with Minnesota coming out on top, which really leads me to say, I can't make heads or tails of, honestly, I can't make heads or tails of either one of these teams. Some weeks they both look great. They both look like you don't want to see them in the playoffs. And then other weeks they both look like just regular mediocre teams that anybody can take advantage of. So that's pretty much what I saw this weekend when it comes to sports, when it comes to football. That's the main topic that we've discussed. And that's the main topic. So that's all for the show tonight, guys. Pretty light of a show, but again, on Mondays we discuss the big topics, and when it's football season, those topics are probably going to be some football game. If it's high school. If it's college or if it's the pros, it's probably going to be a big game that we're going to discuss here on the show. And then once we transition out of football season, then we may have a few more things that we can talk about. But right now, the main topic is probably going to be some football game. But again, that's all for tonight. It was my pleasure once again being in front of you guys. I enjoy it so much. I thank you so much for listening, watching. Don't forget to add me on the YouTube, the Variable Y Minute. Don't forget to find me on Twitter, or I think I'm at The Variable, and on Instagram I am The Variable Y or Variable Y, whatever. I don't really know all these things, but I know you can find me somehow or other. I thank you again for finding me tonight. I thank you again for listening to the show, and I will talk to you soon. I hope you all have a wonderful night.